Good evening, guys. So today we'll start the next session. Hope everyone is clear with the last session, right? So you guys have already done the homework, and do you have any problem, anyone? Setting up the coordinates from the AutoCAD or from Google Earth. Do you have any problem? Hope not. Okay, no problem. So if that is clear, then we will move on to the next topic. The next topic is how to use the shared coordinate system in Revit. So before we learned that how we get the coordinates from the Google Earth or from the survey drawing and how we feed it in Revit correctly. Okay, so up to there I think everyone is clear. Now we will see that if you are getting already some file which has the correct coordinates. For example, if you are working as a structural engineer or MEP engineer or in MEP consulting firm or contracting firm, and the architect of that project has already set up the coordinates, okay, and now he is giving you the template file of Revit for you to use to get the coordinates. Okay, so half of the work is already done by him. Only thing is you have to take his coordinates to your file to start your file. For example, his file is architectural file, now your file is MEP file, right, or structural file. So now you have to start your project in your file, but you have to take his coordinate because the coordinates he already has set it correctly in the Revit file. So now how to do that process we are going to learn today. Okay, so I'll share the screen and we'll understand by the examples. So let's say I have one project, let's say this sample file first. So this we will take that this is the file which has already the correct coordinates. Okay, now we are going to start our own project where we are going to take a completely new file, and I'm starting the project. Okay, like this. So in this, since we are not doing it from scratch, what we have to do, only we have to acquire or publish the coordinates from the other files. Okay, so here we got two options. So if we'll go in manage, just 1 minute. So if you'll go to the manage option, so here you'll get two options. First is called acquire coordinates and second is called publish coordinates. So this is one of the best questions also to ask in the interviews by the interviewer. So you should be clear with these two options. Most of the interviewer, they ask what is the difference between acquire coordinates and publish coordinates. Okay, so once you know the uses, then you can answer the questions also. Same way how you understood the difference between the project base point and survey point in Revit. Now we will see that how these both works, then you will be able to answer the question that what is the difference between the acquire coordinates and publish coordinates. Okay, so first case, actually both these options are made for two scenarios. So scenario number one, suppose you are the one who are not the initiator of the project, but you have to follow up the coordinate system from the another person who already have done the work which I explained now. So for example, architect of your project already have done the corrected the coordinates in their file, and now they have given their file for you to copy the coordinates from them. So in that case, what you can do, in that case you will link their file in your file, okay, and then you will acquire the coordinates. But in another case, suppose we are sending our file to them and they find that our coordinates are not correct, okay, then what they can do is they can link, and their coordinates are already correct but ours are not. Then in that case what they will do, they will link our file to their file and then they will publish their coordinate in our file. So they will not open our file, they will link only our file, they will link only, and then they will publish the coordinates to our file, and our file will have the coordinates of their system. So basically the difference between the both is acquiring means taking the coordinates from someone else, and publishing the coordinate means giving our coordinate to someone else. Is it clear? Now we will see that by practical example also. Okay, so in this case this is our project. So I will first uh, on that survey points, so I will go to site and I'll keep all the points on. Okay, and now what I will do, I will first link the file, given file. Okay, so I will put ml manage link, then I will go and try to link the Revit file first. So I have kept the file here, so I'll copy it. So let's go there and try to link that file, for example sample1. Okay, so I'm connecting that file and doing it here. Okay, now you see this is overlapping each other because the option I have used is origin to origin, right? I think once again let's see, I forget to explain you. So first time when you are linking, you have to select the file and then you have to use internal origin to origin. You remember I told you while setting up the project, you need to keep the origin point and project base point at the same places. So if you will do, then see origin to origin it is aligning. Also it is the project base point of project base point it is aligning. Both it's aligning. So another way you can see that I can link this same file by using this option. For example, project base point to project base point. In this way also it should sit correctly in a same place. Why? Because our project base point and internal origin points are same place. You got it? This is the reason I told you. Then if you will try to keep your project base point and internal origin point of Revit at the same places, then in two scenarios it will work same way. Okay, so that's why that was the reason. Now you got the point, right? Practically. Now so we can see that it's happening like this. So normally what we will do, normally we link by using the internal origin to origin, let's say. Okay, default way of Revit. Once that is linked, then we will go to that option and we'll click on the acquire coordinates. Okay, and after clicking on the acquire coordinates, you have to click on this coordinates acquired from the sample Revit one. This GIS coordinate system unknown, that you forget about that is because we geolocations settings are that which we have not done, we will cover in the later phase. But the coordinates are required. So you saw the message, right? So what was the message? Message was acquire coordinates and select the file. Okay, so coordinates are acquired from the sample one. Okay, so it means we have received the coordinates from the sample one. Okay, so this is how you get the as soon as we are doing that, what's happening, we can see that our project north is rotated. So for example, if you'll see in this true north view, you see the true north of our file is now following the same true north of the that file, what do you call, the linked file. Okay, or if you are putting a project north file, then our survey point is showing like this. Now this survey point is at the 0 0. Why? What it happened when it acquired the coordinates, it moved from there. So what we can do is we can link, we can we can pin and we can move it back there, or what we can leave also here, but our project the coordinates are required now. Okay, so now our file and their file is having the same coordinate system. The another way of doing it is we can give our coordinates to them. So for that purpose, what we'll do, I'm going and showing it in the reverse way. Okay, so reverse way means I will close this file completely and then I will open the project sample one. Okay, I will open the sample one. So this is my file. Okay, now in this file I will link this project 3, let's say project 3. Okay, so I am linking by default setting internal origin to origin. After linking, what I will do, I will publish the coordinates. Okay, I will publish the coordinates to that one. So how can I do it? I'll go to manage and I will click on publish coordinates, and as soon as I'll click, and you remember, always remember that it will ask you to select a file. Okay, so once we are selecting the file, it is asking the internal to save that coordinate system. So for example, the name of that point is internal current. I'm just doing it, or you can duplicate and you keep it 2 positions also. So here I'm just overwriting it. Okay, so now what's happening, my coordinate went to this file. Okay, so see the true north of this file is now rotated according to ours. Okay, now this also, if we will open this file and we will go inside, then we will get the coordinates of the same. For example, you see here, sorry, this file, if it was not shared, just before sharing I'll do it once again. So I am just adding once again to show you project 3 and add it. Okay, uh, oh sorry, this was already set up. Let's say I'll create another file. Let's call project 4. Site, I'll make a model line, let's say, and I'm going to save this file as project 4. So fresh file I'll show you, so you'll get better understanding. Okay, now I'll link the project 4 in this one. Okay, so just coming on the default space. Now what I'll do, I'll go and I will publish the coordinates to this file, right? And then I'm merging on that one. Now my file will get the this file also will get the same coordinates in that, you can see here. So what is the coordinate point of my file? This number, right? 0.132. Now what is the coordinate point of the selected file? This one, right? But one step back, if you'll go see the, when I'm selecting the file, the coordinate of my file is this much, 2773696.132, but the coordinate of my linked file is 00. Understand? So it means it is not sharing the same coordinate system. But once I do this, you know publish coordinates, as soon as I'm selecting this and I'm overwriting it, then the coordinate of my linked file also became the same what I have already. You see here. So now if I'll go inside this file, like this file I did not open, only I linked and published the coordinate from my model to their model. Now once I will close this file and I will open this file also, so now the one thing, a technical glitch here, you have to see that when you will try to close your file, it will ask you to save this file also, because you made the changes in this link file without opening the link file. Okay, so suppose if you are going to close this, it will give you the error message. See here, do you want to save the changes to sample? Yes. Once you are doing that, then immediately it is asking, do you have changed the current position in project 4? So this is asking that okay, I saved your work, but you also have done the changes in project 4, which is a link file of your file. So do you want to save that change also? If you say yes, then your coordinate will be saved. If you do not save, then it will be not saved. Okay, so I'll do save. Okay, so it means my that file also has saved the project number 4. If you'll open, that also will have the saved this coordinate system. So up to here everyone is clear? Publish and shared coordinate, did you got the information? This one, the difference, everyone? See, now I did not open, I just now open the project 4 and I can see that the point here, it was 0. Now it became same what our file is sharing. Now the point is on this place. Why? Because we did not change the unit. So unit should be in the meter, length it should be in the meters, and up to the 3 precision numbers. So this mistake you don't do it. You need to always care about this. Okay, so you'll get like this. Fine, everyone? Hello. Then one thing you'll notice that after acquiring, you got the project base point set correctly as per your file, but the survey point is here. So similar way, this survey point after pinning, you can move wherever you want. Okay, so you can move to here, there, or whatever point you want to find, you can find it. Or even if you leave here, there's no problem. Okay, so survey point is not going to dictate your the setting of your file correctly. Okay, so only project base point and internal point will dictate. This point is only to do the survey in Revit. So if you want to get a point, it means you want to get this, you want to do the survey in Revit, that which point exists where, you need to fill that here the numbers, and it will take you there. Or opposite way, if you want to know that what is the coordinate of this point of my project, you can just move the survey point and it will tell you the the number of that coordinate point of that particular place. Okay, which you can do by using this tag also from here. If you'll go to annotate, and if you'll put on spot coordinates, so anywhere if you want to get the coordinate of the file, any place in the file, you can use that spot coordinate system. So you can check that one, then it will mark you there. So the family, we have to revise it because it's showing small. So you can get it that way, or you can get it this way. Okay, so if you select here, if you spot coordinates, if you try to find, you can find it, or you can place your survey point and you will get the coordinate of that point. Or if you know the coordinate of one point and you want to search where that point exists, then also in that case you select this point and you fill the data here. Okay, so both way, either ways you can do it. Now, so this is the way to get the coordinates from the existing files, or to give the your coordinates to your link file. Okay, so there are two cases. Suppose you are an architect and you have multiple files received from the different parties. Okay, and all of their coordinates are 0 0. They started the project but they have not used the correct coordinate system. So in their file, what you will do, you link their file and you'll publish your coordinates to them. Okay, and in second case, suppose you are receiving a file from architect and you are MEP or any other party of the project who is responsible only to follow the coordinates what the architect has already done, then in that case you will acquire the coordinates from the file of the architect. So these are the two scenarios, and these are the two process how we do it. Okay, anyone has any doubt in that? Hello?
No, it's fine.
Fine, right? So now we will move to the next point. If you are clear with this one, we will go to that next part of the project setup. Okay, which is creating the levels and grids or copying it from the file. Okay, so two scenarios are there. First scenario is, suppose you are here also. So suppose you are architect. So in that case, you are going to create the grids. Okay, so grids, when you are creating, it's a very simple, it's a first class. Once you will go to learn in basic of the architecture Revit, they will teach you. So you need to take this option and then you can create the grids here, right? So many grids you can create, and you can put it like this. The second scenario is, suppose architect already have created this, those guys have already created these grids, then you have to copy monitor these grids in your file. Okay, also the labels means the height, the elevation, you need to go in elevation view and you have to see this label. Okay, so this now we'll go and we'll do it practically, how this works. Okay, so two things are there, labels and grids. So first task is, if you'll have the checklist, first thing you will see that your coordinates are correctly set up or done or not. Okay, so if you're architect, you have to do it manually, the way we have learned in last session. Now in the second scenario, if you already have a file with correct Revit coordinates, then you can do two things. Either you can acquire the coordinates or you can publish the coordinates. Okay. Nearby.
Excuse
So
me, I have some doubt.
yeah, please ask.
Actually, you told like survey coordinate and project-based coordinate both are different, right?
Correct.
If it is both are same, what will happen? Because
Nothing will happen.
whenever we choose the location,
Mhm.
the survey point of the place is like the coordinate is accurate. We are find out some level from surveying, and the
Correct.
project what we construct on there,
Hmm.
that coordinate how will be different.
No, it's not different. What I'm saying is, see, this is project base point, and these two items are here. Okay.
Mm.
So actually, I explained in the last session. If you have heard that correctly, okay. I'll once again I'll give you the clarity. See, the coordinate system of Revit is very confusing. So understand it better. So this is survey point, okay, and this is project base point. First, we have to understand what is the usage of these both. The use of this system is to fix one point in our project to mark as a reference. Okay, so maybe we can keep it 0 0 also, and we will say that everything else will be measured. So suppose we have a project here, we want to mark the coordinate of this point, okay, in context to this point. You understand? So for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
this is our 0 0. It means this is the 0 0 point of our coordinate, means x and y crossing point, okay, coordinate
Yeah.
crossing
Yeah.
point. Now, so from here, if you want to measure there, from here we can say that you go 10, let's say it is divided in 10, so 10 point on the y and 8 point on the x, then you will reach this point, right? So like that we can count.
Mm.
Similar way,
Yes.
yeah, so this is for to count the project thing, okay. Now this we can keep 0 0, and it will still work for our project, okay, and there is
Mm.
no problem in
Yeah.
getting the coordinate for our project, okay, but we have to fix this point as 0 0, and we have to mark this point physically on our site also. So from here, if they will measure 10 meter this side and 8 meter this side, they will, and then they will mark both, they will reach this point, okay. Now that is our local coordinate system, we can create that way. But here our agenda was, okay, we will use in same meter units or units, whatever we want, but this point, instead of keeping 0, let's keep it the actual point of the earth coordinate system, which is northern and eastern longitude and latitude of earth, okay. So what advantage we get in that is, so here if you are keeping this 0 0, you have to manually measure it, okay. But
Yeah.
if you are pointing this point, if this point on the earth, every point on the earth has a value called latitude and longitude,
Like,
okay.
yeah.
So if this actual place of our earth, what is the number of this point, if we know, then we can assign the same number to our project base point in Revit also. So what advantage we will get? Suppose any place we are marking here, so suppose coordinate system we are marking here. I'll go to annotate. Where is that? Here. So suppose I mark the coordinate system of let's say this point, okay, and that is something XYZ whatever, okay. What is wrong with this? I think it's too big.
Actually, wait, what happened when I received the like the file from architecture? Whenever
Hmm.
I see the project based point and survey point, both are together. They pin, and both the point will be what is the survey point and
Hmm.
project based point. Their height will be same. The coordinates are same.
Hmm.
If
Hmm. Hmm.
in case they
Hmm.
both are different and they forget to uh, give the project base point value different or survey point, let's that project base coordinator is 0 0, they forget to give the same survey values, survey
Hmm.
coordinator value. So when
Yeah.
we are start working in that accurate coordinate, and we are start working in that, and we share the file other
Hmm.
teams,
Hmm. Hmm.
it won't be like coordinate.
Yeah.
Then when we started checking, some architect must be missed this.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's why I have doubt.
No, no,
If
it's a
it
very
is
practical
both,
question. Most of the
yeah.
persons are, neglecting this thing. That's why most of the projects you get this glitch. Most of the times you'll
Yeah.
find it.
So
But
is that mandatory? We
yeah,
have to keep the survey coordinator as it is the project based coordinator
no,
coordinate.
no, no,
They
it's
both
not
will.
mandatory. It's not mandatory. I will explain you, then you will get it correctly. So what I'm saying is, let's say this is our building, okay, and we marked, or let's put this corner on this point. Let's say that one corner of our building we are putting as a project base point, okay. Now this project, in context to project base point, we can mark any point of this project, right? That is our aim, to find out the coordinate. To find out any point in this building, how can you denote? You cannot denote if you don't have any reference, right? So this is our 0 0 reference, and we can denote it. Now the another point I told you, the point number 2, what we did is this, instead of keeping 0 0, we marked the actual longitude and latitude of earth, right? Now that is also in the meters, and our coordinates also, if we are setting it 0 0, that also will be in meters. So we'll measure in both cases meter, okay. This length will be the same in both cases. Only thing is, when we are getting the coordinate by, if this coordinate of this project base point is actual point of earth, then whatever marking we'll do here to find out the coordinates, we can get that point by using the machines also. For example, total station or GPS system if you have, and if you give the coordinate point, automatically you can go and find that place, that point. But if you are doing it manually, like this, the 0 0 is, this is 0 0, and you are doing it manually, then your GPS will not tell that location. So to find out the automatic way, we are setting the correct coordinate system of your project base point. Now this project base point, it's a fixed, and we know that this is the project base point. Now if someone wants to measure manually from here, like 10 meter by 8 meter, they can do it. If they want to measure it by GPS, they can, in that case also they can do it. So both cases works in this case. That's why we keep the project base point at one point for our complete project throughout the complete construction period, okay. We don't move this. Now this
Even
is clear.
elevation also.
Yes.
Elevation.
Elevation I explained already earlier. I will come to that point, okay, once again, okay. So then the second point is survey point, okay. Survey point is in the Revit, why we use it? To find out the points, so for example, okay, like this. So you can move this point anywhere in this project, as long as if it is pinned, you will know the what is the value of this point, okay. Same other way, suppose you already have the GPS coordinate system, okay. Suppose you have a mobile, and in mobile you are putting your location on, and by using that one you are getting the coordinate of that point. Now you want to know that which location I'm standing in mobile. You want to find that same point exactly in Revit, okay. So what you will do, you can go on the, suppose it's a stadium, and you was somewhere standing here, and there is some manhole has to be made there, okay, or any gutter you are making, or anything, suppose for fire hydrant, whatever. So you went there physically and you marked that by GPS, by your mobile phone, in worst case I'm saying, okay. Less precise, but still it can give you the point. Now that point you can convert into this project coordinate system. From that will give you in the degree, minute and seconds, okay, the coordinate system from the Google map. That you can convert, and you can make that in this form, okay. And once you will put this form in Revit, then automatically this point will go here, and then you can know that I was standing here in the field in Revit, this is that point, okay. So that's why it is useful. So now what is the use of this survey? To do the survey where that point exists, you can know it. So you can fill this data and it will take you to that point. Opposite way, if you want to know the coordinate of one particular point, you can move this point and you can get the coordinate of that particular point. Also, these coordinates will be not only your project coordinate, these are also geographically it's connected, like it's not different than that. So either you can find by GPS machine also, or manually also, both point will be the same, okay. So the use of the survey point is to find out the point to do the survey of your project. Base point is to set up one reference 0 0 place from where you can take the references for your project. So that is the reason, if you will keep moving this one, then today suppose you are telling that the point of this corner is 10 by 10, okay. 10 meter you go on x-axis, y-axis, and 10 meter you go on x-axis, and both you will once you connect, then you will get the second corner of my plot. But suppose
Yeah.
I am moving this tomorrow to here. In that case, my
Yeah.
value will change. If now if you measure 10 by 10, your point will go somewhere here, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we don't move the project base point. But survey point, wherever you move, this value will not change. You understand? The value of project base point will be the same. Also, these points
Okay.
will be in the context with the what you call your geographical coordinate system. So you can find this point not only by manually measurement, even by the GPS machine also. If you put the location in GPS machine, then you can go
Yeah. Yeah.
and reach this point. Okay, so that is why we use it. Now the impressions, what you are saying thinking is, if these points are not on the same place, then our file will sit differently, right? That is not the
Yeah.
case. Your survey point can be anywhere in the all the files. Okay, this is not mandatory to have all the file survey point at the same place. If you are keeping, it's better to get it quickly. But even if you're putting here and the another file somewhere else, there's no problem in linking, as long as your project base point is at the correct place and the coordinates are matching of the project base point. This is where doesn't matter. This you can move it anytime, any file, anyone to use their survey. So for example, MEP guy, they want to move this here to mark their manhole. Electrical guy want to mark this here for the electrical duct or some underlying cable is coming. So they can use different places. They can keep this to different places. They can move it. They can use it. Okay, not a problem. Still, their file will they will link and they will get at the both file will sit correctly at the same place. Okay. So for linking process, only two things are important: the project base point, a location should be same, the coordinates should match. Okay, also the origin point can be anywhere, but if you are linking by origin to origin, then this file will be aligned on the basis of origin to origin. Okay, if you are linking the to by using the internal sorry, this project base point to project base point, then it will use this one. In my case, I both keep together, so there is no confusion. Either way you use it, you will go to the same place. Okay, that's why the
Yeah.
reason I told that both you keep it the same place. Survey
Now,
point you can
when
keep it
we,
anywhere.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But when we receive the file, the
Hmm.
both are pinned with the same one corner. If it is in case the both are like misplaced survey point, I like we found some problematic while accurate the coordinate. I don't know why it is happening, but they put the rules like they put in my team. They put architect team. They instruct like you have to pin both the exact coordinate value. And so,
No,
like,
in that
are
case,
you
what?
getting my?
Yeah, yeah, you can
Yeah,
get the error. You will get the
yeah,
error if your file, the underlying file, they have done this mistake. So without pinning, if they will move it somewhere else. I told you, do
okay.
not do it.
Yeah,
So in that case, what's happening? See, you are manipulating the value. The problem is,
yeah,
once it is pinned, it is following your GPS system. But once it is unpinned, see, now I am moving, the value is changing, right? But once I
yeah,
will unpin it, unpin like this, and then I will move it, then value is not
yeah.
changing, and now if I'll pin, now it will start moving from here. So this much you glitch you created, that's why you will get the error message. So that's why I
Okay.
told you, when you are setting the first person, so this is the understanding gap is there between the the
Yeah.
person who is primarily setting the file. They should not do this mistake. So once they are setting up the project coordinate project base points, then they should move this point after by pinning and finding the other coordinates, and just leave any point of here or here, maybe they can keep it, not an issue. But they should not do this experiment. If they will do this one and you are following correct one, then your file will be not setting correctly. You understand? So
Yeah.
that's why these glitches are coming. So this is completely not your fault, it's an underlying file problem. Okay, but you
Mm.
need to know the reason. Okay, so as long as they are following the correct procedure, there's no problem. Okay.
Okay.
So the
So, thank
primary
you.
primary thing is, you need to know the both uses of the both.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. And now, so what I was explaining is, now you was asking the elevation also, right? So
Yeah.
elevation is nothing. See, so elevation means what is the height of your project. So for example, I told you earlier also that we are using the geoid. So for example, our Earth is
Yep.
geoid, right? I don't know. Someone else also asked me this question, and you was there on it.
Because we have started the construction from ground level, right?
No.
Like
The elevation is very different than what you are thinking. So I explained already this point. That's why I'm telling. Maybe you was not there in that class. So our Earth is like this. Okay.
yeah,
So suppose in Earth, let's say any place is there. For example, this area is there. Okay.
yeah.
So how, if I am asking at what height your project is? Okay. So let's say I will go to the Google Earth and I'll go to 3D. I'll go give you the perfect example so you'll understand it. There is the road, here is the road. Okay, so let's say this is the place. Okay, I went to this place. Now let me find one hilly kind of place. Okay, let's say for example this one, right? So we
Yeah.
are selecting our plot, and that is the elevation of this place, and this place is different. Okay, let's say this is hill. Okay, although here it is construction, but I'm saying assume that this is a hill. Okay, so the height of this place is more than this place, right? Now,
Yeah.
and the same way you can have like ups and downs in the earth surface, right? So now
Yeah.
if I'll ask you what is the height of your this place, so what measurement you will give?
I will be take some benchmark, right? Like
Yes, correct. Any
there is the
reference
sea
point you will
level.
give. Any reference
Yeah.
point you will tell that this is our marking from the my marking. Let's
Yeah.
say this is the 0 0 height of my project, and from here it is 4 meter above, right?
Yeah.
Correct. But
Yeah.
if suppose this complete land is like that and you don't have any reference, then how will you give the
Yeah.
height? You cannot give the height from any nearby references. Why? Because
Yeah.
all are changeable, right? Tomorrow if this
Yeah.
storm will come and here it will become height and here it will become low, you cannot say that this was 4 meter, right? So
Yeah.
this is, if this is not steady, then you cannot mark it. Suppose the township is going to be developed, there is no reference to follow. Okay, so
They.
in
Yeah.
that case we measure the height of that one from the sea level. Okay,
MCL and
sea
sea
level,
level.
sea level. Okay,
Yeah.
sea level means the, so every city, all the curvatures can be measured in reference with the sea level. Why sea level is always steady, like it's a flat. If you remove the waves of the sea, the
Mm.
water has a single level, you know.
Yeah.
So that level, it is universal for the complete earth. So that's why
Yeah.
someone is telling what is the height of this Mount Everest. Okay, so
Mm.
height of Mount Everest, let's say I'm searching. Okay, so height of the Mount Everest is 8,849 meter, right? Now from where did you measure? If you measure from your city, it will come different. If you go and measure nearby the Everest below, there's so many.
Mm.
So Everest, if you see, is so many here, hills are there. From where it is measured, you cannot mark any reference, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so this height is from the sea level, because these are all manipulative. If tomorrow this landslide will come and this hill will go down, and you measure the
Mm.
distance of the height of this one, then you cannot measure again from here, right? So you don't
Yeah.
have any reference. This will become air. From air you cannot measure. You don't know where is that
Mm.
exist. Okay.
Yeah.
So the what is the source which is always steady? Like you can always refer back from there. The only sea levels, and almost 70% of our earth is water. So that reference is bigger spread everywhere. So we can
Yeah.
mark a level from the sea level. So this elevation Revit what shows here, that is the reference, the sea level of your place. Okay, that
Yeah.
is this elevation. Now normally it is difficult for surveyor to give this point from the sea level correctly, so that's why most of them they don't give you. If you can, they can give and you can put it, is fine. But since they are not providing, I'm not asking the persons to put it manually here. Understand? Like
Yeah.
don't put the elevation here like 2 feet, 4 feet, 10 feet. Okay, but this feet is actually, if you are going to construct a building on the Mount Everest, you need to put this elevation 8,850 meters. Understand? So
Yeah.
this is the elevation means. Okay, this is that elevation.
Mm.
It's not like your project elevation from some. So that's why we keep it 0 0, because it doesn't
Mm.
matter for us much, because of we have the local reference. But if you want to measure in terms of the any height of the physical elements. If suppose
Yeah.
the height of the pyramid, the height of the Himalaya, the height of Burj Khalifa.
If it is
So
the most
yeah, so these,
important building
yes,
construction, they
these
will
things we
calculate
are
that.
always giving from the universal reference, which is sea level. Okay, so this is that
Yes.
one. So now if you don't have the data, don't put it, because it is not going to affect much for you in your project. Okay,
Yeah.
but if you give, it's better, but you need to know why that
Yeah.
that point exists there. So Revit is very technical, highly engineered software. They have
Yeah.
considered almost everything whatever you can put in your project. Okay,
Yeah.
so and that's why it's popular, although it's not user friendly, but it's very popular, right? So that is the use of that. If you don't use this, you are not going to get a big effect, but if you have the data, you can feed it, you can use it. The another thing is, if you put here elevation, you have to put the same elevation in all your link file also. Okay, if you will miss that, if you are putting height here and not height in your linked file, then you will not get the elevations of the buildings will not match, even if the coordinates are matching. Okay, so that is the
Targeting.
another problem. So that's why you need to keep it. Now hope all your
Yeah.
questions are clear, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Clear.
Okay, so
Thank
today we learned, yeah, welcome. So today we learned how to publish the coordinate and how to acquire the coordinates. That also is clear, right?
you. Yes. Yes.
Yes. One more step I will explain you that why we need to use that publish and acquire coordinates. So suppose you have a big plot here and you have multiple buildings in that. So for example, that day I given the example of Dubai Expo. Like for example, Google Earth, let me go back. Okay. So here, for example, I am putting Expo City of Dubai, which I told to take as a example. So for you guys also, I told you that when you are setting up, set it up with the multiple projects, okay, in your file also. Why I told you, the reason is this. Now I'm going to reveal it. Okay, so what is the reason? Suppose you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, right? So let's say 13 14 buildings are there in your one pavilion. Okay, let's say this is pavilion called any, like, the sustainability or mobility pavilion. Okay, so if this pavilion has 13 building, then first I have to set up the coordinates of this complete plot. Okay, then I can link all these files and then I can publish the coordinates from my file to these files. Okay, what is the advantage? Suppose this building, once I'm linking in my main file, then I can see these are all sitting at the correct places. But suppose this building has an interconnection with this building, okay, and this coordinate, this building has to go, like some service is going from from the, let's say cable is going, underground cables are going from this building to this building, or water supply is going from this building to this building. Now when in case I have to work only with these two buildings, this and this, why should I link all these files to make my file unnecessarily heavy? I will link only this and this file. So if I link this file, in this file, I link this file, I will get the correct location in my this file also. So you understand what I'm saying is, this file I'm working, in this file I'm linking this building. Okay. So it will come at the exact direction and exact location if this is shared, the coordinates are shared from one URS file, one main federated model. Okay, if you will not do that one, maybe when you are linking in your file, it will look here and here, but when you link these both file independently, this file will sit this direction in context to this file. So in that case, you will get a wrong direction. You will model your cable here, and once you will go and link in the federated model, your building will sit here. So that's why we need to publish or share the same coordinate system for all the link file in a project. So any file, if you are linking to any building in context with only those two buildings, you will get the correct location in that particular file, and as well as in your main federated model also. So both ways you will get the correct location and orientation. But if you will not follow that one, then in one case you will get all these correctly sitting in your file because you did it manually. But in another context, if this building and this building, they try to link each other, they will not come at the correct distance or correct location or correct orientation. So that is the main reason why we use the shared coordinate system in the Revit. Okay.